Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland. I'm coming to you today with Conversation with Self. What are you going to talk about today, Self? Self, we're going to just talk about the healing power of connection. What in the world? Yeah, it's important that we start talking about stuff like this because it's getting close to the holidays, and a lot of people, when it gets like wintry months, they go into depressions and stuff like that, especially if they don't feel loved or have the support that they feel like they need. So we're just going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to talk about it in sections, okay? I might not talk about that many of them because I got a lot of mental health stuff. And so I'll be talking about mental health stuff all the way up to the channel break, which will be coming in, some weeks, before Christmas, okay, in December. But we're marching along. We'll be there soon. The science of human connection and mental health. Human connection has a prolonged impact on our mental and emotional well-being. Scientifically, meaningful connections trigger the release of oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone, which promotes feelings of trust and bonding. These connections also reduce the production of stress hormones, leading to improved mental health and stronger sense of belonging. I don't really take to a whole lot of people too easily, because I've been so wounded in my life, but I can be around people, I know how to be around people. But sometimes I feel depressed too. I go have days where I feel depressed, but I talk to the Lord about it. And when I don't feel myself, I just stay off to myself or just be real quiet. It's always quiet around here because I'm by myself. But when I get like that, I just get real quiet. But I'm always real quiet anyway. But if I'm around people and I'm going through it, I don't really say too much, I just be quiet. I'm going to have a whole lot to say. But that's kind of how I am anyway. If I want to talk, I talk. If I don't, I don't. But I don't always, when I'm around people, I don't always have a whole lot to say. If I have something to say, then I'll just say it, But I understand how it is when you feel isolated and like you're alone on this earth. I understand how that feels. Because I've sometimes feel like that because I don't have family close to me. So you can't feel isolated like that when you don't feel like you have that support network near you. But I have the support network, but they're far, So that can make a difference, though. Maya felt isolated and overwhelmed, after moving to a new city. I'm going to give you an example. She joined a local community group and started forming connections with her neighbors. Over time, her mood improved and she experienced a greater sense of happiness and belonging. And that's important to not completely lose your connection with people. And that's why I love dealing with people from all cultures, It just gives you a different sense of reality, You can get a chance to see some things that are outside of what you normally deal with or see, You can expand your horizons culturally, and your way of thinking. That don't mean you have to marry somebody from the other culture if that's not what you want to do, but we need to be able to get along with each other. We exist on the same planet. There's enough room on this planet for everybody, for whoever they love and want to be with that person or whatever, regardless. Whatever their culture is, that's their business. I used to be like that but I grew up like that. We all grew up back when I was coming up. Everybody was real. Even though we lived together, where I grew up was different though, because it was kind of different than what you see normally. We all the races socialized together, but it was still kind of taboo for race mixing. It was still taboo for that. But as far as interacting with each other, the cultures did that up there, and they still do. But now race mixing up there is it's just normal. It's just, up there it was more normal anyway. But So I mean, I understand, but it's important to go around people, even if you find like I just mentioned, some groups that you know you might be interested in, you know, interacting with, because there's plenty out there. I'm gonna just read one more. Seeking support from different sources. Support from friends, family, and professionals can play a pivotal role in healing through connections. Okay. Friends and family, after understanding that you might be going through a few things, you know, it'll give them an opportunity to kind of absorb some of your sadness or your feeling and your longing for a connection, you know. You know, you might even want to consider professionals who can provide guidance and give you using their expertise, you know. So there's all kinds of case managers, you know, all over the place. A lot of hospitals have them. If you don't have a whole lot of resources in your area, talk to somebody at your local hospital, you know, and see what kind of resources that they know about in the area if you're struggling with mental health, you know, because there's help out there. At least here in the States there is, you know. We don't have all of the funds that we need for facilities, you know, but if you need to talk to somebody, they have hotline numbers that you can just call, you know, randomly if you have access to a phone. Everybody, you got to understand, just because I'm in the United States, everybody doesn't have access to everything, you know. Some people may not have access to a phone for whatever the reason. They're in remote places. The United States isn't that much different from any other country except for, you know, our government and some of our rules and things like that. But we still have people in our country is a big country, and we have people in remote areas that still may not have toilets, don't have running water, you know, stuff like that, and don't have indoor toilets. I've seen it myself driving through different states, you know. And these are well-known places. I won't say their name and put them on blast, but I mean, so don't think that the whole of America is, you know, the streets paved with gold stuff is just, that's not true. And those of us who are here, it took us a lot. I worked hard for what I have, even though it's raggedy. I still have somewhere to lay my head, but it's, you know, but I worked hard for it. Nobody gives you anything. You have to work really hard here because it's expensive. You know, so you got to do what it takes to pay for it. They expect you to pay for it. So you got to do what it takes, you know. But there's a lot of opportunities here, you know, that's for sure. You know, but wherever we're at, we have to if you have a mindset to make opportunities, you have to make opportunities for wherever you're at, you know. I'm going to give you another example. Mike was struggling with anxiety and found it hard to open up to his loved ones. He decided to see a therapist who specialized in anxiety disorders. Through their sessions, he learned coping strategies and gained a deeper understanding of his emotions while still receiving support from friends and family. So that's important too, you know. There's, you know, seek professional help if you don't feel like you want to tell your family or something like that. You know, because don't feel embarrassed for that. You know, there's too much of a stigma on people going to get help, you know. When all they might need to do is just talk to somebody. But as I mentioned, here in the States, they have hotline numbers you can call if you know, and talk to somebody. So just kind of, if you have access to look it up, just look it up, hotline numbers. And I'm sure you can find a list on the net, you know, of all the different hotlines where you could just call and just be able to just for free and just talk.